this quad rugby game, Germany national team versus Denver Harlequins. And White's going to have the ball, it looks like, on this, and we're in a real match up here. It's become probably one of the closest games, 13-12. Actually, we've had some close games. That the first half.
The first halves have been pretty close, but
second halves is where they won.
Yeah, and we'll see where Denver's stamina is.
Remember, Denver only has 5 players. Right now, they made their substitution, brought in Josh Stapin, and he's the official substitute of this team, and he's going to be trying to help keep them in this because Germany has been tough. Got to give Adams Totaro a little bit of a break. There's a real thing here. Denver really blocking it up very nicely.
I'm also curious, Germany, Jorg holds them. Their standout 2-5.
Oh, right.
Their standout 2-5 is not playing in this game, so I don't know if he's injured or he's just fighting off jet lag.
I think one of them was, I'm trying to think of what I remember hearing.
We just saw Andre Leonard fumbling the ball without any pressure out of bounds. That's very uncharacteristic.
So, opportunity for Denver to take a 2-point lead here. And it looks like they're going to do it. Chance Sumner away to the races. And there he is.
They got the 2-point lead and a jump ball.
All right. 14-12.
Advantage Denver right now.
Yeah. Germany, long pass in. And he got a hand on the ball. That should have been called a jump ball.
Referee's discretion.
Yep. And score. Number 2. That's true. The referee's always right. Of course, we may see something they don't. But
and there's no challenge flags in wheelchair rugby.
No. Certainly, we don't have the ability. Andy Cohen is going to have an easy score here. As long as look at the way he's coming back, but no question. He coasts across the finish line there and stays up ahead.
Andy's not flashy, but he's very smooth and he gets the job done.
And you can see he's a thinking man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a big part. Looks like Germany's going to have an easy score. Not much they could do about that. And
Andy's a starter for the U.S. national team for their gold medal championship team at World Championships in New Zealand. That was in 2006, September 2006.
Yeah,
he was part of the starting 4, along with Mark Zupan, Brian Kirkland, and Scott Hogsett.
And Sumner's on the team, and he just scored again.
Yeah, Chance brings another element to the team. He's a high pointer and he's got height. And one of the U.S.'s weak points in the past has been their half-court play when they're going against the key defense. But with somebody like Chance, he's big and tall. He can post up. He can score easily. And same thing on defense. It's hard to get a ball over his head.
Andy's working.
So they've been looking for a big boy like that for a while.
Nice blocking there, and there's nothing much Chance could do. He was blocked and picked very well, and it's still a close game where the score is 16-15. Denver with the ball and up by 1, and they bring the ball in. Oh, a turnover. Did they recover? He recovered. Chance Sumner recovered. That was a close reach. Okay, and then we got an easy score. Germany's just watching. Chance Sumner scores again. He's probably the top scorer, I think, of this game. And because the Germans, I think, have balanced it a little more. Andy Cohen probably number 2. And the Germans between Andre and Wolfgang.
Andre Wolfgang and Mike Baumann just controlling the play. But Germany seems to be lacking that little something.
Oh, that's a nice leading pass and a score. Number 2, under Leonard. Score 17-16, Denver. And ball in for Denver. Denver seems to have figured out how to get past that thing, get across the line. They haven't had that problem lately. Chance with an easy score. Keeps that 2-point lead going. So Marco, what do you look forward to for your team? Some of the battles that you're going to be dealing with.
Well, the next game against Sarasota, against the Hover-Round team, they're playing with an illegal lineup, so that game's already pretty much won. But then we've got Texas, and it's going to be an interesting battle. A very interesting call there by Trey Smith.
Against Germany.
Yeah, against Mike Bauman clearing out. He cleared out with his offhand, and that resulted in a turnover.
Okay, Denver with an opportunity.
So going back to our game, we're going to be playing against Texas, and it's going to be the battle. We've got a Japanese import playing with us, Shingo Fujishima.
Who plays with,
he's with the Japanese national team, up-and-coming player, and also, and he's a speedster, and the same thing for Shinichi Shimakawa. 2 speedsters, so it's going to be very interesting, and there's going to be a lot of talking on the floor.
And Say is with your team, is that right? Am I thinking of a wrong team?
We got Say Luang Kambang.
Yeah. Scored by Germany. Within 1. I saw between him and Shimakawa, it's just a great play. Good ball handling, good movement.
Yes, great pivot.
Look at that. That was a nice hit. Nice hit. Hammer trying to put the hammer down. And, look, nice pass there. Ball's going out. Can he recover? Yes. Up. Nope.
And Scaturo there with a no-look pass. And
that's their last time out.
Yeah. No-look pass to Stappen, and miscommunication there.
Denver with all its timeouts used up, and they still have 4 minutes in this second period and a whole second half.
Still 20 minutes of rugby left and no timeouts, so they're going to have to be very creative.
Hope one doesn't come back to bite them. And we're taking a break here as the teams are having a little bit of a timeout. Rob Rowland, Marco DeFaltro at the xable.com table here watching the Quad Rugby, and we're excited again to be here and be covering this, and this is a great tournament. I know that this is really kind of the start of the year, and one of the tournaments that teams seems to get going on their way to the Demolition Derby or whatever we call it.
Yeah, the Demolition Derby is coming up at the end of the month. Next week, it's not an official tournament here, but it's the same facility. We're going to have Germany, GB, Sweden, New Zealand, Canada, and the South Florida Rattlers playing a little round-robin tournament. And at the same time, we've got another tournament going on in Tampa.
That's right. That was Adam Scataro who scored that. We have the Division II championships. Is that what it is?
Division II tournament, yes.
Division II tournament. We're going to be there, covering the last day of that, the finals. And so, if you're interested in watching some more, make sure next week you tune in. Sunday night, Monday, we'll have it on. And we got 4 minutes left in this. The score is 19-18. Denver still with the lead.
I don't know if he wants me or not either. Was he clear?
Got him. Denver got to be careful. They don't want to make any mistakes. They don't have any timeouts to make. So they got to get across. And Germany's trying to put that pressure on. And look at that. That was a smart play. Across that thing, and he scores.
Good push by Adam Scaturo with the hammer right on his trail.
Yes. He's at 1.5, but he's playing strong like that. Okay, Germans trying to come back and answer. Chance Sumner, nope. Nope, not much you could do with that one.
No, but might as well just try to do something and go for a reach, because it's going to be a penalty goal. So it's just he's going to score anyway. So might as well just try to take him off his game. Who knows? The referee might not see something, and you might strip the ball. And
okay, got to get that ball across. Remember, they have a time limit here, and they are across.
Very smart play by Adam Scaturo here. Instead of putting himself in trouble, he just went back and did a little 180 and went back in good position to avoid the over and back call.
Look at that. There we go. Chance Sumner. You know, it's good to see. You see Adam Scaturo come in for Andy Cohn and step up and be there and bring the ball forward, which is what Andy's been doing a lot of. along with Chance, but bringing that ball out from the backcourt, and that's an important part of this game. Look at how fast the Germans are. Boom, nice blocking. And push some goats and score. Nice pass there.
Not only is Denver hanging in there, but they're still ahead.
They're still ahead. 3 minutes left.
Yeah. They'll have to jump on the possession arrow to start the third.
Penalty there. Chance Sumner.
On the arm. On the arm. The ball right here. Inbound, blue inbound, please. No. Turn.
The Germans with reach again, and we have a substitution here. We brought in Andy Cohen back in for Josh Stapin, and for 4-on-3, you really don't have much of a chance, do you? If the team's any good.
Absolutely.
22-20.
Power play, and there's not much you could do.
Not in every sport do you have that advantage. Look at you have in hockey, a power play, 2 minutes, and it doesn't guarantee you a score.
Well, in rugby, though, it's almost automatic.
Yeah. Oh, look at that, off to the races. There wasn't much. Oh, look at that. Okay, Andy Cohen, but he had to do that.
Yeah, he had to prevent the goal. Might as well take a chance, maybe strip the ball before he hits the cone.
Yeah.
But in this case, he hit the cone before. So.
Well, and if they can somehow stop this goal, that would be a worthwhile one minute penalty.
But again, at this level, I mean, if you don't score 4-on-3, that means you made a terrible blunder. The only way you could really get a turnover is just like on the inbound. Because everybody mans up and...
Yeah, here's the score. 22-21 and...
piece of cake.
Yep, but nothing wrong with that penalty though. And off to the races with Chance, and look at that. Being blocked. Reach. Okay. Gotta try that too.
Yeah, Andre taking a chance. I'm sure he's a little bit upset at himself that he didn't get a piece of chance there, but he'll have many more opportunities.
He took a chance on getting a piece of chance.
Exactly.
Is that it? There we go. Germany off to the races again there. Oh, look at that. Oh, nice hands by Andy Cole.
15 still going. A little bit of panic on Germany there. They were only at 8 seconds of the 15, so they still have 7 seconds to cross half.
They lost count somehow.
Now they'll still have 15 seconds to cross half, but the score clock's at 32. No, I think Denver's surprising the Germans a little bit. I don't think they anticipated such a strong opposition. But Denver's playing very smart. Chance is playing Iron Man rugby, so is Jason. And the only people that get really subs are Andy and Adam with Josh.
Do you see a lot of coaches that are players in this?
It's hard to do both. I mean, I did player coach myself, and it's hard to be on the floor and to be objective about everything, and so it's way more practical, and less do you see, like at this level at least, player coaches. You're one or the other.
Look at that. Look at the matchup of those two. There's Reggie, number 12 for Germany, Wolfgang Schmidt. They're just back and forth, back and forth.
A chess match.
Yes. Up. There we go. Another easy score for Germany. Brings it within one. Gonna get close down to. It's interesting to see across the way. You see the coaches. You see Coach Gumby come back from Texas. With Kevin Orr from Lake Shore sitting watching the game. Oh, look at that. How'd they get it? Got to get the ball. Nice recovery, but chance.
Oh, turnover.
Oh, it is turnover.
Germany with the chance to tie up the game.
Yeah. Thought he had the ball, but nothing brings out the fire in you when you make a mistake, is it?
Exactly. We've got, you can see Andre, that's a nice goal, but Andre is a little shaky with his dribbles. He almost dribbled that off his wheel again.
All right, we have a tie game here with 1 minute left, 24-24, and we're almost at the half. And remember, we were watching this on xable.com, the website for the disability community. And a little equipment failure there. So how come if the chairs are so good that the Germans have, how come the U.S. don't have the same chairs?
It varies. I mean, the German chairs, the Schmeeking chairs are very good, but on the German team there's only two because they're sponsored mainly by Myra. So, but that's different players like different things. And the U.S. is mainly going with Vesco type chairs, so it's made in the USA. So some teams, some guys prefer those chairs because it's easier to get them fixed. And they've also Neil Vesco is the equipment manager for Team USA. So if there's a problem with the chair, it's easy for him to fix, and he knows his chairs inside and out.
And you don't think it's that much of a disadvantage?
No.
Well, the score is 25-24. Denver again with the advantage here. Pass. And center coming up there. Oh, look at that.
Oh, is Trey Smith going to give the timeout? He gave the timeout.
Wow, okay. That was good defense on number one there, coming in, Chance Sumner to stop that one.
Chance is a pit bull. He's never going to stop, never going to stop pushing. He always plays it to the max.
Yeah. He was there. So it forces Germany with 31.6 seconds. Have to put the ball in play. Denver has a chance here, and 24 seconds on the clock, so Denver's going to get one more shot at it.
So Germany's probably going to score if they score with like a couple of seconds left. So Denver's going to have over 10 seconds to, in theory, to try and score a goal. And it's very important because they're going to start off with the possession arrow for the third quarter.
And following this game, we have an exciting game coming up with Lakeshore playing Texas, I believe, is the next game on this list.
It's going to be a great game.
That is going to be probably a defining moment for one of these teams.
Those two teams are pretty much favorites to end up in the finals this year for the USQA National Championship.
Lakeshore playing with a five-man team. That's going to be their weakness, but other than that, there's no weakness on either of those teams.
Because those guys, Joel Wilmoth, can go easily an entire game. Brian Kirkland trains like an animal, so they might be only five, but stamina will not be an issue with those guys. They're in tremendous physical shape, and I think one of the main reasons for that is Coach Kevin Orr.
14 seconds left. 14 seconds left, and they try to keep them.
Denver with lots of time left to score a goal. This is a very pivotal point in the game right here. Denver can score here. Start off the third with a jump.
Look at that.
Looks very good.
Makes a pass. 3 seconds left.
Not going to happen.
That leaves us at the half, 25-25 with this game. With Germany versus Denver. Denver was leading up to as much as 2 and maybe even 3 for one time, I think, but leading by 2 and never could capitalize on that and ended up giving it back. And so here we are at the end of the first half, and we are going to take a break here, and we'll be right back in a few minutes. Remember, you're watching this on xable.com, and Marco DiPoltro and myself, Rob Rowland, will be back in a short minute.